अस्सलामुअलैकुम, वेलकम टू पैसा बोलता विद अंजुम इब्राहिम। आजकल ख़वातीन हज़रात इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फ़ंड की खबरें बहुत नुमायाँ हो रही हैं। एक दफ़ा फिर एक तो बहुत मस्बत तरीके से उनको पेश किया जा रहा है। और ये असद उमर साहब ने भी जब स्पीच दी थी अपनी, तो उन्होंने यही कहा था कि जो डॉक्टर हफीज़ शेख साहब हैं उन्होंने बड़े सक्सेसफुली बेचा है कि हमें रैपिड फाइनेंस इंस्ट्रूमेंट दिया जाए टू फाइट कोविड-19 यानी कि कोरोना वायरस से जो हम डील कर रहे हैं उसके लिए। और 1.4 बिलियन पाकिस्तान ने रिक्वेस्ट किया है। और साथ उन्होंने ये भी कहा था कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर इमरान खान साहब ने डायरेक्टली बात की थी मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर IMF के साथ और काफ़ी उनको सपोर्टिव स्टेटमेंट मिली थी। ये प्रोसेस जारी है मेरा ख्याल में। दूसरी तरफ कोई इतना ज़्यादा मस्बत नहीं है, वो ये है कि जो हमारा जो थर्ड ट्रांच रिलीज़ थी और जो सेकेंड स्टाफ लेवल एग्रीमेंट जो अभी तक फर्म अप नहीं हुई थी, वो हमें अभी बोर्ड के पास नहीं ली जो है IMF की जो स्टाफ लेवल मिशन है वो अभी तक बोर्ड लेके नहीं जा रहा। और उसकी वजह यह है कि हमने प्रायर कंडीशंस जो थी, जो एग्रीड हो गई थी, वो हमारी गवर्नमेंट मीट नहीं कर सकी। पार्टली ऑफ कोर्स वाज शॉर्टफॉल्स इन रेवेन्यू एंड फेलियर टू इम्प्लीमेंट पावर सेक्टर रिफॉर्म्स भी हम नहीं कर पाए हैं। मगर पार्ट ऑफ इट ऑल्सो नाउ तो ये सारी चीज़ें एग्जैसरबेट हो गई हैं, ज़्यादा शॉर्टफॉल हो गए हैं, बढ़ गए हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द कोरोना वायरस। आज आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू वेलकम टू आवर शो ऑन WebEx Teresa Devan Sanchez. She is the resident representative of the International Monetary Fund in Pakistan. She is extremely proactive. I think all the stakeholders, whether they are in government or whether they are in NGOs, non-government or economists, independent, as well as those who are academicians. They are all, she engages with all, and she has emerged as a very, very strong and compelling voice for the IMF. Welcome to the show, Teresa.
Hello, welcome to you too, and thank you very much for this opportunity. Happy to talk to you again.
Teresa, I would like we are all well covered, and we are all following government instructions to stay as much indoors as we possibly can. I wanted to give you the opportunity to provide the IMF rationale for whatever is happening today in Pakistan.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, this new virus, COVID-19, is seeing very important challenges that we know, in the world, and also locally in Pakistan. And this is a major shock, major crisis that have many dimensions, and is really challenging. We have the sanitarian dimension, health, how to keep people healthy, and how to protect them, plus other consequences that are happening about disruptions in international trade and in the economic activity outside Pakistan, for instance, and the consequences of the government policies to contain the transmission. That is very important. That's what we call the lockdown. All of these angles are making these shocks very complex, and it's new also for everybody, and posing a lot of challenges. I think important news is the IMF has launched a very big effort, ambitious and very powerful, to help the countries in the world, the members of the IMF, mobilizing resources, mobilizing teams to work with the different countries and to support countries as much as possible to navigate this difficult time. Going back to Pakistan, and we can say that we are very happy the government has taken very important measures, and on the fiscal front, also the State Bank of Pakistan, to support the economy, and specifically to help those parts of the society that are most vulnerable. That's right. With an increase in allocations for the SAS program, with the launching of the SAS emerging cash programs that is right now actually happening as we speak. This is very good. And this is something that is I mean, I think is the priority for everybody. The priority for the government of Pakistan right now.
Right.
I will.
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead. So
yeah. Okay. No. So in this context, the government of Pakistan and working together with the IMF and place a request for financial assistance and of these instruments that the fund has to provide a rapid response.
That's right.
And specifically the instrument that is called Rapid Financial Instrument. It's an instrument that is existed before, have been using before for countries that were in trouble because of unexpected shock.
Does it have a charge? Teresa, does it have a charge, this instrument, the RPI, does it have a charge? A rate of interest?
It's an instrument that provide funding to the government, governments. Has all of the information about the terms of the instruments are in the website of the IMF. I can indicate when people can see. It's very transparent. It's an instrument that is has a charge, but given the very low interest rate in the world right now, in general, this is I think no consideration for the moment in Pakistan. Pakistan needs resources right now to support
immediate support. Okay, Teresa, we'll take a short break here. Khawateen Hazrat, please stay with us if you can. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Teresa, I would like to now ask you the total RPI. I think that the IMF has announced is about what, $50 billion?
Yeah, I mean, let me explain how this is work for the benefit of everybody.
Okay.
So these are facilities. We call them facilities, which is the language that we use at the fund, and are with a request by different governments for these resources.
Okay.
So Pakistan has placed a request of 50% of the quota of Pakistan, and the quota of Pakistan at the IMF is around 2 billion. SDR, we measure that in this special drawing rights. That is the basket of currency that we use at the IMF. That when you translate that with the interest, with the exchange rate, is this figure that have been circulating in the public domain of about $1.4 billion. So this is the request.
When is the IMF board? Sorry. Go ahead. Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
So how it works is that there is a request. There is an analysis and an evaluation because everything is changing, so we need to reevaluate everything, all of the macroeconomic indicators and everything.
Okay.
And then this is supported. It's supporting the request of Pakistan, and it will be considered. My estimation is next week. I mean, that depends on the board of directors of the IMF. It's an institution that has their own agenda and their own calendar.
Do you reckon, will it be in tranches or will it be at one go?
Yeah, no, this is a facility that it has a fast track arrangement for everything. Everything is fast because that's why it's called Rapid Financial Instrument. It's disbursed at once in one only tranche because it's a moment of need. So you cannot wait actually.
That's absolutely right.
The characteristic of the facility. Yeah.
Okay. The other question I would like to ask you is that once your decision to release the RFI is not only based on the fact of need, because obviously we need it to ensure that the poor sections of society, the vulnerable and the poor, are protected against the COVID-19. My question is, did you look at some other basic data from the Ministry of Finance to support or not to support the RFI disbursement, or is it just because of need?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand the question right. I mean, there is how we should look at that there is a shock. There is a major, massive, important multi-dimensional shocks.
Okay.
Coming from outside, and also with the things that are changing locally.
That's
so
right.
in the presence of this type of shocks, I mean, the time is an essence.
Okay.
So you have to respond as quickly as possible to have resources, to have the teams,
Okay.
to have the strategy, to put them together to protect the most vulnerable.
Right. So essentially, in one sense, the IMF reacted quickly to Pakistan's request, but on the other hand, the IMF did look at the package that was announced by the Prime Minister, and it's a good package, as you said. It targets the labor and the unskilled labor that's now without jobs, and it targets the poor and the vulnerable. So, in effect, you did look at the proposed package as well.
I mean, as you know, I mean, we have a very close relationship with the government of Pakistan. We have an ongoing dialogue, so I'm not sure how to separate. So it's an basis, which we have to evaluate what is the strategy collectively, jointly, and then decisions are made. We advise as well. We have to also a responsibility of advising countries to the best of our knowledge. In that situations, the government have to react. They put together a package that is in line mostly of what other countries are doing.
They're doing, right.
And
Perfect.
the economy and level.
Okay, right. Now, Teresa, I understand there are some constraints in your probably answering my next question, but there is a lot of news in the media that the third tranche release disbursement will not be discussed because some of the prior conditions that were agreed between the government and and your staff have not been met.
Yeah, I think that there is the focus is, I think the focus is wrong, because now the priority is to get this RF5 in place as soon as possible. This is a priority for Pakistan, this is the priorities for the IMF, and should be the priority for everybody. So this is what we are working now, and this is what we are asking the board of directors to consider very quickly in a rush. But on the top of that, as was very clear in the statement of our managing director in conversation with the economic team of Pakistan, the commitment to the IMF program is stay there. The IMF program continue to be there. Is available to Pakistan, but the priority now is the RF5.
Okay, we take a short break here. Please stay with us if you can. What I asked earlier, Teresa, I would like to know, because of the COVID-19, you're quite right that all the basic fundamentals of globally are just going haywire, and in Pakistan, which was on an IMF program already, our capacity to meet the revenue target needs to be after it was already, there was a shortfall, but now there would be a further shortfall for obvious reasons. There would be also a shortfall in implementing very, very necessary power sector reforms, tax reforms. Do you think that there would be some kind of a further tweaking of in your vast experience as a staff member? Do you think that there will have to be some considerable tweaking of the program for the next tranche release after the COVID-19? This has sort of blown over?
I think I have to go back to my answer, because I mean, this is where we should now stick to this message and these commitments. So the commitment is there to the EFF, and then if we look at the program documents
but
let's go to the issue. The core of the issues are about policy and reforms.
That's right.
And the policy of reforms that were advocated and that were supported by us and by the government of Pakistan, and remains to be valid. I mean, we have a shock. The shock requires now attention. We have to focus on that. But Pakistan is a country that needs to. I mean, we need to continue working on all of the policy and reforms that are in the program. Then, I mean, I can list them, but everybody knows about that. So we had to work on power.
So that's basically well understood by the government authorities. The other thing I wanted to ask you was that it was a 39-month program, and obviously this COVID-19. If we take the example of other countries, it should be with us for another 4 to 5 months. I mean, it's at least a 4 to 5 month period where economic activity has remained largely suspended. My point is, would the program period also be considered to, you know, this period not be considered as part of the program in a sense? I also recall your statement, which was actually quite a significant statement, where you said all measures that the government may take should be temporary and to deal with the COVID crisis. Your comment?
Yeah, no, I mean, you ask several questions. Let me see if I can handle
okay.
that.
Okay.
I mean, the first thing is that the advice to countries is to take actions right now that are substantive, that are targeted to the problems that are emerging, to protecting the most vulnerable. To maybe relax some regulations. You know, why not? I mean, the central banks, the Bank of Pakistan is doing now here, are relaxing some regulation. Why? To allow banks to work in a more flexible way with their clients.
Right.
Maybe these relaxations are not going to be needed later. In that sense, the recommendation is that this type of measures are temporary, because they're targeted to a problem that has emerged, and we hope and we expect. I mean, we are going to be over. In that sense, and as this is the context of our advice to different countries. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is one question that you ask. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for being on my show. I think that you've clarified a lot of points. Khawateen Huzrat, aapne suna, COVID-19 is the IMF's major area of concern. They are not looking at the previous program, but they are saying कि वो जो program जो है उसकी effectivity जो है रहेगी, क्योंकि policy measures और targeted जो उनके reforms थे वो उतने ही valid रहेंगे जो कि program के शुरू में थे. ये चीज़ बदलने वाली नहीं है कि थोड़ी बहुत मेरा ख्याल में वो शायद tweaking कर दें या program को बढ़ा दें, वो अभी तक उस पर सोच नहीं रहे हैं. Focus उनका COVID-19 ही है इस वक्त तक. इजाज़त दीजिए, खुदा हाफिज़.